It's going to be Zac Pauga versus Bogdan Guskov. Zac Pauga, he's 6-2. He's coming off of that decision loss to Modestus Bukakas. He is fighting against Bogdan Guskov, 14-3, 4-1 his last five. Actually coming off of a loss in his UFC debut against Volkan Uzdemir, who's a ranked light heavyweight. So pretty hard UFC debut, if I do say so myself. Right now, the odds for this fight, Zac Pauga is actually a minus 123 favorite. He is opened up at a minus 160. So some slight dog action has been taken on Guskov here. Alex, what are your thoughts on this light heavyweight battle that we have here?
So Zac Paunga. What I saw from the tape I was watching is that he's dangerous early, throws pretty heavy hooks and overhands, but doesn't really set anything up. Um, Kind of just lunges forward with heavy hands. His gas tank is very suspect, in my opinion. Last fight against Modestus Bukauskas, the fight was fought at a very slow pace. But I could tell that Paunga was slowing down as the fight went on. Not the best volume, and very very little use of leg kicks. But he does seem pretty comfortable in the clinch. On the other side, we have Guskov. He had such a poor showing in his UFC debut. Um, that's why, like, I'm very hesitant to put money on Guskov here. Like, I don't think having money on this fight is that smart because Guskov got completely dominated in that debut fight against Uzdemir. Um, I just didn't see any positives for Guskov to kind of carry forward to this fight. So yeah, I my pick is going to be Ponga, but I mean I'm not really playing this one. I think it's too up in the air.
Yeah, this guy is just too much action. The Gustav, he just wants all action, just strikes with power. Keeping his hands just super low. So I'm very hesitant to have units on a fighter like that going forward as well. I mean, that's something that I don't want to have. I mean, he throws with just more power than technique. He does have some good 1-2 combos. Like he has a good jab and a cross, jab overhand. He has a hook head kick. He has some good striking, but I feel like he has below average head movement. And when you couple that with having, it looks like below average durability, I feel like this dude can just get cracked because he keeps his hands pretty low and he can get finished because he does not eat shots, at least at the UFC level so far. So I feel like he's just all striking. He has okay grappling skills though, but he likes to use those kind of body lock, clinch kind of takedowns if needed. I just feel like that's not going to work too much here because that's where Zach excels at. I mean, Zach's a pretty well-rounded, who's like decent everywhere, but he's not like super great anywhere. Pretty much, he's a decent striker, like you mentioned. Really likes to work in that clinch. You can use knees, short punches, just wear down his opponents on the cage. I think he's an okay wrestler, but he just has not shown this in the UFC so far. He really likes to just push his opponents to that cage and hold them there, attempting to use the cage to help with takedowns. He is not a sub threat even. He's a zero subs in his career. He prefers to use ground and pound once on top. I think that Zach is actually a good athlete, although he seems to be slowing down at age 35. So he seems to be past his prime in a way as far as a athlete who's a UFC caliber. I think either this fight will be Pauga pushing up Gustav against the cage and engaging in the clinch for the majority of the fight, leading to a decision win, or Gustav finding a power shot to land a KO. At the moment, I'm leaning towards Pauga grinding out a 15-minute decision victory, but I'm most likely staying away from this fight too. I think that there's too many variables to factor into this, and both these guys just do not seem to be high level enough for me to actually put some units down.